Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis, me once again. Welcome back to another movie review, aka After I Saw. I am filming this video during Christmas time in my dad's winter wonderland outside. Yeah, it's just filled with inflatable Christmas decorations, so I'm just gonna lighten up the mood, even though the movie I'm reviewing is not a Christmas movie, though it came out during Christmas time, so yeah. But anyways, this time I'm going to be reviewing Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. A very, very, very cliched title, because we've had movies like The Lost City, Dora and the Lost City of Gold, The Lost... Yeah, if you put something with, like, Lost anything, it's well, it doesn't guarantee if the movie's going to be good or bad, but yeah, I honestly almost forgot what the title was. This is the sequel to the critically mixed but very successful first movie that came back in 2018, where Arthur is a father now, but he has to go back to Atlantis and become king, though there's a new threat to the kingdom, and he has to partner up with his evil brother, who he now joins forces with in order to, well, save the world of Atlantis, yada yada yada. Yeah, it's pretty much another predictable superhero story that you can see coming a mile away when it comes to... Yeah, James Wan is back as the director, and Patrick Wilson is back in the movie as a supporting role, and I can't really say that I was really looking forward to this movie that much. Not just due to the fact that superhero movies this year have been bombing, like, really, really hard, but mainly just due to the fact that, well, Aquaman 1 I thought was good, but was it a masterpiece? Was it the most cinematic, most epic superhero film ever made? Nah, it wasn't really. And, you know, when it comes to superhero sequels, they don't always tend to be as good as the first. And this one certainly wasn't. In fact, throughout a lot of the movie, I was kind of bored. When there was no action on screen, I honestly, throughout a lot of the movie, I wasn't even paying attention, because there were just times to this movie where I was all like, yeah, I know what's going to happen. It tends to be very predictable. Now look, Jason Momoa, well, I think is really solid as Aquaman. He's definitely the entertaining part, the most entertaining part out of these movies, and while I like Patrick Wilson, his chemistry with Momoa in the movie, as the movie tends to get the characters, you know, like bonding once in a while, you know, to show that, you know, they're brothers. They can just, you know, it's kind of like with Thor and Loki, though. With Thor and Loki, that's a little bit different, because Loki still always has the evil side in him, though I haven't seen the Loki TV show. So yeah, it honestly kind of just felt like another Thor movie, except a way worse Thor movie than Thor Love and Thunder. Throughout a lot of the movie, I was just thinking about what my goals are gonna be for next year. Like, will I get my driver's license? Will I don't know. There were just so many things that I was thinking about while watching the movie that had nothing to do with the movie. Because while the movie has new characters, none of them were remotely interesting in the slightest, and it does have quite a bit of CGI characters. And yeah, because the movie is underwater a lot of the times, yeah, you can guarantee there would be a lot of green screen and noticeable CGI. And it doesn't always look bad, but a lot of the time it does look very cheesy. And when it comes to the action, it's pretty much what you expect. It's nothing groundbreaking in the slightest. It just felt like, well, it's got to have action, and there is, but a lot of the time it can just feel very messy. The movie's not overly long. It is 2 hours, so I feel like that's fine, though there are some times where it could have been trimmed a bit, but hey, it needs to be as long as possible, and at least it wasn't like 2 hours and 40 minutes or anything like that, though I feel like sometimes there are parts of this movie that I just feel like were cut out. In fact, when this movie had test screens, people absolutely hated it. And the critics aren't being too fine with it right now, and I can definitely see why. Now look, is this a terrible film? No. It's just, well, another generic superhero movie sequel, and it just didn't feel like it did anything to do its predecessor justice. And I should also mention, this is the last of the DCEU movies, so it doesn't really end off with a groundbreaking conclusion. It just kind of ends off like, oh, we're done. Let's move on to something else. Oh yeah, James Gunn's universe, which hasn't been, which I mean, Blue Beetle was good, but that didn't do well financially either. I really don't have a whole lot to say about this movie because, like I said before, I was just thinking about other things because this was just a movie that I was just checking off my list because it's a big movie coming out, and I tend to see at least every single new DC or Marvel movie to come out, and I didn't really find myself having a whole lot of fun with this one. There are some moments of enjoyment here and there, but a lot of the time I was just waiting for the movie to end because I just kind of just wanted to get this video over with. And in the end, guys, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, it really was nothing to write home about. It's not completely god-awful, it just felt very generic and predictable. The new characters weren't interesting in the slightest, and when it comes to Jason Momoa and Patrick Wilson's chemistry, it is a bit dull. And yeah, Amber Heard is in the movie once again, but I'm not going to get into all that Amber Heard controversy, but you know what, I really didn't care. I don't know, I honestly could have seen a better Christmas movie. Like, when I went to go see this movie, the theater I went to was completely sold out of showings for The Color Purple until around 9 o'clock, so yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if Color Purple would do better than this, because yeah, I mean, this movie definitely didn't do well this weekend, so yeah. But, you know, it's not a terrible film, and I don't blame James Wan, because he is a good director when it comes to horror. I really enjoyed *Malignant*, because, you know, James Wan still has some talent behind the camera when it comes to horror, but when it comes to movies like this, it just, I don't know. I would say it could have been better, and it definitely could have, but at the same time, I'm not too shocked that this movie wasn't anything super special. But yeah, hope you guys had a good Christmas. There are a couple more movies I want to see before doing my best movies of the year list, so look forward to that. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.